Today I'm going to be talking about types of graphs. There are all different types of graphs. This is a line plot, this is a bar graph, and this is a pie chart. I'll go into more details about each of those in just a minute. But I want you to know that graphs show data or information in a pictorial way. Instead of looking at numbers on a chart like this, we're able to see them in a visual way on the graph. Using the previous data, I can show it in a line plot, and these are the January birthdays, and there's 3 of them. February, there's 6 of them. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. If you go back, you can see that all of these numbers match the data I just showed you. Here again is the exact same information, 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20, and it's showing us the number of kids that have birthdays in those months. It's showing it in a very different way than the line plot. Here is a pie chart, again showing the exact same information, but in this case it's broken it down into pieces of the whole thing, and the whole thing be 100%, or this one pie. Using these types of graphs, I can show categorical data, and categorical data is data that can be broken into groups. The groups that this information is the number of kids that have birthdays in each of these months. This is a stem and leaf plot. I can compare data easily on a stem and leaf plot, and you'll notice that very quickly 30 is the minimum and 68 is the maximum. And so now very quickly I can tell you the range, which is, again, the greatest minus the least, so 68 minus 30, which would give us 38, and the range tells us the difference between the minimum and the maximum amount in this data. What about the mode? Do you remember what the mode stands for? Mode means most, not the most data, but which one of these numbers appears the most. Can you look and tell me what the mode is? In this case, the mode is 67. It appears 3 times on the stem and leaf plot. Now, a line graph is different. It doesn't show categorical data, it shows continuous data. And in this case, this is the temperature in a made-up month, and it's showing that each day the temperature rising or falling, and it follows along depending on what the temperature, the high temperature for the day was. Notice how the lines attach the data to help you see visually how the data changes over time. Now, continuous data is not limited to whole numbers. So, for example, the temperature could have been 72.5 degrees. I could not have 72.5 people with blue eyes. Did you notice earlier how the pie chart looks like the fractions that we've been looking at before, and that the sections on the pie chart are just like pieces of the whole thing? This pie chart helps you see what portion of the whole something is. So for example, if I look at this pie chart and I see that August has this piece of the pie, what part of the whole would you guess that is? Just looking at the pie, hit pause and make a guess. What fraction of the whole does August represent? I'm betting that it represents about 1/5 of the whole thing. Looking at the exact same data on the bar graph, can you tell that August represents 1/5 of all the data? I can't. Just looking at it, it's not as obvious. So a pie chart is very helpful because, again, at a glance, I can tell which birthday is about, in this case, 1/5 of it, where a bar chart makes it easier to see which is the most and exactly how much it is. It doesn't tell me what part of the whole any one bit of data is. Now I'd like you to go back and look at the graphs again. And then write down important things that you've learned about each graph on the sheet I've given you. Make sure to add the definitions of what continuous data is and what categorical data is. I can't wait to see you tomorrow.